Well guys, I know you're tired of this dress. I am too. I'm tired of wearing the exact same dress every time we go out to eat because it's the only one that's warm and it's the only one that's appropriate for Michelin star quality food. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do when you travel the world full time. And I have to recognize that. My lack of fashion is a statement about my desire and interest to keep traveling. So, not much I can do about it. Okay, we're here tonight at Mikla. We're gonna be having a tasting menu that is vegan and gluten-free for me and one that is just normal for Jeremy. So we're really excited to try it. All right, we just made it in and look at this view. Whoa. I know you can't really see it that well because of the reflection of lights, but it's epic.
Ankara. Thank you. Thank you. Sparkling wine from the capital. I feel like I'm in the Hunger Games. Olive, tapenade, cucumber, and sea bass. Oh, nice. If turkey had an olive ceviche, that's what it would be.
Okay, I have genius olive oil. He made a point to describe it to me. Yeah, butter and yogurt. Sourdough bread. Okay, they hid mine under it. Ooh, there it is. Lentil paste with mushrooms.
Some fantastic sourdough. Probably, and I gotta say, 2 times better than the sourdough that comes out of San Francisco. And it's not because I'm throwing them under the bus. It's just that good. And then I've got an anchovy from the Black Sea. If that doesn't perk your ears and your taste buds, I don't know what will. Anchovy turned into a cracker.
Whoa.
Look at that. I've never had an anchovy cracker before. Here we go. Do that.
Nice.
Pretty sure when we were at the bazaar today, I watched a guy clean this little anchovy with his fingers, and they licked them afterwards. If you're gonna eat anchovies, this is the only way. It's covered in cheese and it's fried. Fantastic.
Okay. I just had the most melt in your mouth mushroom I've ever had. I have no idea even what it's called. We're still on the snacks, so typically the chef will bring out 1 or 2 treats, snacks to warm you up before everything on the menu actually even happens. That's what happens when you do a tasting menu. But I just had a mushroom and it was like buttery, but it's vegan. So it was like melt in your mouth. This is a lentil paste. It tastes very much like a Thanksgiving kind of blend of spices with very hearty lentils. I absolutely loved it. I was not expecting that texture in the mushroom at all. So good. It's just like if you boiled a lentil stew down to a paste. That's exactly what it's like, actually. Observation, I would say. This is the first time I've been to a tasting menu where they actually serve you entire, like, actual servings of wine. One thing I'm noticing is everything is very clean. For me anyway, which I really like. It's very simple ingredients. Wheat has a way of hiding in the most sneaky places. it smell like Nick bought it?
Apricot, sunfish, beached whale, a little bit of penguin poop, and oranges. Yep. Oh yeah, comes through strong with the oranges.
How was it?
It's a nice little wine. I'll tell you, wine. You know, who knew? Wine comes from Turkey.
That's one thing we're actually learning. Like in Peru, Ica Valley, you never really hear of that unless you're in Peru. So you get to taste all the local wines.
Yes, and wines here are $2 chuck prices, but the standard is the same as a $20 wine in the United States. So we're being tricked, guys. We're being tricked to the wazoo. This whole thing needs to be more expensive because it's US with a US tag on it. Grapes ferment the same way.
Didn't I introduce you to artichoke hearts?
Introduction, no. But did you further my experience? Yes. And, you know, it's the feeling against the teeth that still gets me, but I do get it. And honestly, I don't understand mayonnaise. Maybe that's the non-American part in me. Maybe that's the foreigner inside of me. Mayonnaise. Yeah.
Technically, it was French. It was developed based on the French.
Now, an aioli, I get you could call that as a form of mayonnaise, but no, it's not. Because, you know, when I get a pisco sour and they shake my egg yolk, they're not turning that into mayonnaise.
Let's talk about how our childhood experiences shape our perception of foods.
Well, it's tremendous, you know. I grew up with canned vegetables. Vegetables were let's call them a color palette necessity to feel good about the meal. What does that mean? Well, if you don't have something on there that has a little color, then it's not considered a meal. And it's like, okay, well, what does that mean? Gotta have peas. Done. Now it's a meal. You're like, okay, it's all canned. Canned peas, canned vegetables, canned mushrooms, the little cans of mushrooms with like the Popeye on them. Is that right? His name? The sailor Popeye? What's his name?
Spinach. Green Giant.
The Green Giant. The little like rubbery mushrooms. Maybe you should do flash or no flash, because if you go back and forth, it'll change. Because I don't want to be too shiny. We did that last time.
No, it looks good.
Okay, let's just keep it this way if it looks okay. What do you think? Yeah. It's really fun to experiment, to travel and to try different things, and to try to not base them on the experience of the past. Like when I grew up, vegetables in the Midwest of the United States, weren't necessarily like the main attraction or even a necessity or the requirement. They were like compulsory, you know? So it's really interesting to try different stuff like this artichoke here. And I'm reminded of all the other artichokes I've ever had or all the other little vegetables I've had, and I'm trying to base it and compare against that. And it's a fun experiment because I'm consistently, I feel like, restricted based on my past. So I'm trying not to be, and I'm trying to be open, because I believe if you've had something that was bad, there's a possibility to have it good and way better. So at least that's what I say with coffee and wine.
So my experience with artichokes was miles apart from Jeremy's. My mom would get us artichokes on special occasions only, and she'd get one per person. And I just remember it was like the most glorious experience ever. We would take such joy in preparing them. We'd pressure cook them. We would eat them all together. It was a very communal experience. We'd take the leaves and we would eat them, and then we put them in group plates, and it was like a glorious, like a messy childhood experience, because it was the one time my mom would allow us to get kind of messy at the table. My parents were my mom was very like, everything is homemade, everything is not from a can, everything is like really in its natural form and like very healthy. And so artichokes were like a family tradition from my grandparents. And so even for many years I lived with my grandparents, and we would have artichokes once a week, and it was like the most fun experiential bonding time ever. And so for me, artichokes hold so much nostalgia to them that I cannot help but enjoy them, even if they're not cooked well. But tonight it was cooked very well.
Beef tenderloin, chili, lemon balm, fresh herbs, pickled okra. The cute little baby okras. This wonderful sauce. What's going on? You're exactly right. I expected it to be hot. Interesting. Reminds me of like a prosciutto with a squash soup.
Okay, this is the first time our dishes have looked vastly different. It looks like I have this similar thing from earlier, and the beans from earlier as well. And
Looks like I got the vegetarian one.
No, babe, that doesn't look.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. It's octopus. It's a rose octopus with kohlrabi and turmeric. Pickled red pepper. They like pickled stuff here. Pickle. Okay, here we go. This is what turkey octopus tastes like. Looks like a barbecue sauce. It comes through like a beef au jus. Definitely comes through like a beef au jus. Nice. Expected, firm, soft enough to the taste though. Nice. I like these little thingamabobs. Nothing to them. It's like jicama. Nice. Very interesting. I would have liked more spice, but it's a really fun dish. It's muted like my wife. People just to be friends with them. Thing that we have fish here. We're walking through the ports today, the bridge. Everybody's fishing. There's fish everywhere. Obviously, the sea's here, the sea's there, the ocean's here. It's very fitting. It honestly smells like the walkover. The skin off. You can eat the skin. Sometimes I choose to. Today I'm not. Looks like a sea bass. Definitely tastes like a different fish. So we have been to some of the best restaurants in the world using the worldsbestrestaurants.com and Michelin Star Guide and TripAdvisor research and a handful of other websites and blogs. And this falls in the top 60 of the world's best restaurants. And it's interesting because you gotta try it. You gotta try these places. If they're on a list, it's like somebody or some company. Michelin stars, I mean, there's obviously a rating system behind that. World's Best, I'm not sure exactly how they do their ratings, but so far it's been pretty good. This one so far has been, doesn't deserve to be on the list. Makes me wonder for the first time, are restaurants being picked because of their location more so than their food and what they're offering? Like political purposes, like we have to include a place from Istanbul in order to be conceived like as the world's best, or can we just pick the best and only be three continents, you know? So I felt the same with Leo in Bogota. Like, doesn't deserve to be on the list. And that's my personal opinion, but the same thing here, you know. Initially when we got here, it was American Top 40s music, and it's supposed to be one of the best restaurants in the entire world, and it doesn't match the vibe at all, you know. The food came out, like my dad's cooked fish better than the fish I just had. So I'm like, okay. The pizza I had for lunch was questionably better than two of the dishes I just had. So, and the pizza was $2, by the way. But you gotta try it. You gotta try it. You gotta do it. The disappointment only comes in the comparison of my history, which I love, which I appreciate. I think we're 100 something with wine pairing, you know, so it's a big difference. The service I got for lunch was equal to the service I'm getting now, and I paid $3 US dollars total for lunch. I'm not complaining. It's good to have comparison. People are like, comparison. You're not supposed to compare. If you compare it, it's bad. You're like, actually, comparison, according to my friend, my wife, and my lover, doctor in psychology. Is that funny, baby? Yeah, according to my lover. Comparison's good because it helps you build healthy standards for yourself and healthy boundaries for yourself. And it's good to match so you can repeat experiences and you can eliminate bad ones. Comparison's not just like this Instagram bad thing, don't compare. Whoever sells a don't compare message doesn't know about healthy standards.
I'm actually having a moment of epiphany, which is that I think I would have received more joy paying for everybody's lunch at that restaurant than coming here. The thought isn't fully developed, but I feel like there's something in me that's like, we've experienced such a full spectrum in life, like I have personally. The highest of the high in terms of service and care and dedication, and the lowest of the low. And it's amazing how sometimes you think you pay more and you get more, but that's actually not the case. And sometimes I feel like I'd rather pay more for other people to experience a little bit of joy. It's interesting, there was a very popular pop singer, and something about this story stuck with me. He said, I reserve the front row in all of my concerts now, and I do not let anyone buy it. And instead of allowing people with the most money to come here and book these seats and look up at me like they're bored as heck and whatever, instead he paid for the people in the nosebleeds to sit in his front row because he said the show felt so much more fun, energetic. The experience was so much better for him and for those people because they got something more than what they anticipated. And they got something that they felt like was really valuable and really a gift to them versus people who could afford it or maybe could afford much more than it, and they felt like the experience was average as compared to their life experience. So I would say I'm having a moment where I'm thinking like, how much more fun would I have had paying, and this was actually Jeremy's idea, I do give him credit, paying for everyone at lunch to have their meal for $3 and then coming here and paying 100 times as much for the meal.
So, one thing I've noticed in Turkey, the Turkish men, Turkish bald men, lots of them are getting hair transplants. So we started talking about plastic surgery over dinner, as you do, as one does. And I've had a few plastic surgeries. I've had a few nose jobs, a few rhinoplasties. Rhino comes from the rhino, the horn, snout. Broke my nose several times in wrestling and football, so I've had it done a couple times. And yeah, it could use another one, but so what? You know, we could all use a little bit extra work too, okay? Give me a break. Had my shoulders done too, a few times. Going to get surgery doesn't always mean you're getting an upgrade. You're getting something different, that's for sure. It may not be better. It may be better, depending on what kind of surgery you get. It's really a gamble. But I did mine for airflow, guys, not because I'm uptight and I wanted more plastic. So there's that. The Ferk Burglar. Ferk Burglar. Braised lamb, walnut paste, and the Ferk Burglar. I'm totally saying that wrong on purpose. And salted yogurt. I had the salted yogurt drink for lunch, so I know what that tastes like. I cannot compute the flavors. Can't. It's so big. A nice, strong finisher. Strawberry sorbet, lovely, and chocolate thingamabob. It's like a mousse chocolate. Nice. So, that was a fantastic dinner because I'm with my love. The food was okay.